Hello, happy Sunday. Just wanted to stop by and complete my thought from yesterday. I left off with, how I how I feel about body modifications for transgender youth. At the end of the day, I'm saying this because me transitioning at 32, I think I have a pretty good understanding of, what I experienced mentally, how I gathered those thoughts, the idea to not even know that that's what I was experiencing. I didn't know about transgender anything really until I started volunteering with the Mighty program in Long Beach, California. It was the youth who let me know that I could replace my hormones to match how I felt and my reflection in the mirror, to also combat some physical, I say, ailments, to combat those gender dysphoria situations. And so I was glad that I was much older because I had more time to experience what I knew I did not want on my body. So that is a pro on that. Also, I want to make it very clear that just because you are young and you do know what you want for the future, by no means am I negating that. But what I am going to do is say, give it as much thought as possible. Be sure you have your therapist, be sure you have your psychiatrist. It's not about being mentally ill, it's about making sure you understand why you feel the way you feel. There's a lot of bandwagonness for any, culture or society, whatever they want to do. There's always a bandwagon to something. And, you want to make sure you're not hopping on a bandwagon just because you're in the middle of an identity crisis. Let's keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all. Myself, it wasn't about an identity crisis. It was more about I cannot see my reflection. I'm not understanding why every time I go to the mirror, I want to grab my face and complete my thoughts by simply rubbing chin hair I don't have. So again, it's about understanding why you need to make this change. Now, say you are, cis female and you have large chest and you're about, you're a young kid, 13, 14, 15, 16, I know I did. I was 46, 42, 46 double D. Might even been triple. They was big bazoomas, right? So, I'm not understanding that I'm transgender at 13. I don't even know about it, but I just know that I'm in the wrong body. I know that I definitely, I'm a boy, and I'm just wow, why am I growing? Why am I growing these? And it definitely affected my thinking, the choices that I made. I felt like I had to be perfect. I felt like now I have to be, beautiful, or you start absorbing all that type of negativity too. Do I fit in? Still going through the same exact issues as a child who's transgender, but at this point I'm living a cisgender life, top heavy. What if I needed to have a breast reduction? Are you telling me that that's impossible? No. For a healthy life of doing things, going out, feeling comfortable, not having dysphoria, breast reduction would have been great as well. And maybe had I had a breast reduction, I would have probably really started to see more of my masculine body, is what I'm gonna call it. That's how I feel about it. I see my masculine body as a young kid. I probably would have transitioned much earlier, but I want to make sure that it's understood whether you are going to have a breast reduction, you're starting hormone placement therapy, okay? I need everyone to understand that the first issue that needs to be addressed is we need to make sure our children have safe homes to express themselves. You know, they say, oh, the kids shouldn't do this and that. I'm just like, having a child who may be transgender or experimenting with anything, they need to be 300% assured that they're going to have a safe place, a home. And that's the responsibility of a parent. You should be put in jail if you throw your child out on the street for being different in any way, because you are throwing your carbon copy out on the street. You're the one who is validating that they're unworthy, and that's unacceptable. So if y'all can guarantee me safe homes from a child 0 to 18 to experiment with their feelings and emotions, including being trans or not trans, because everyone who's experiencing identities doesn't mean that they stay trans or gay, lesbian. You know, it's about having that space to ask yourself those deep questions. Am I really feeling these feelings? Is this who I really am? But you try to do that to a 13-year-old who doesn't have shelter, food to eat, missing school, no family, no support. You're giving your child to that elite that takes children. You're adding to their plate, and that's a crime against humanity. So for me, I say wait as long as you can. Be 18, grown, independent as best you can, to where you know that, hey, I'm doing this for me, no one else. I'm not doing this for a relationship. I'm not doing this to be cool. I'm not doing this to satisfy my parents. I'm not doing this on a whim. You have to really understand. Well, for me, there's, I don't want any of the ovaries. I don't want any of the eggs. I was not interested at all. It was not for me. Not to say I didn't want to have children, but I have so many hereditary issues. I just didn't want to run the risk of having to experience things that I experienced as a kid, as an adult. Like if I'm gonna have to make certain sacrifices again, I would rather make them 100% for myself. So, it was by spiritual love that I'm a dad. I'm not a biological father, but I definitely am a spiritual dad. My 5-year-old Amari definitely picked me. So, this is a perfect example. My daughter, at that time, her parents or the people in her life were, both women, and we're raising her. We taking 9 months to date each other, get to know each other before we start introducing, the kids and stuff. And it's like, this is fun. I could definitely be a parent. I work with the youth. I've volunteered at preschools. I'm pretty good. I'm very good with children. Actually, not pretty good. I'm very good with children. And so, to be on the receiving end of me creating a safe space for my child to say, hey, her mommy, she's talking to her mom, they're talking about me, can I call TK mommy? That TK was my name at the time. And they asked me, and I was just like, I don't feel like a mother. And maybe that should have been a green flag for me too. Ding, ding, ding. I mean, that's what I said. I just, well, I don't want to be called mommy, because I just don't feel like a mom. And we hung up that night, and then the next night, And they call back and she's like, well, Omari wants to know, like, can she call you daddy? And I was like, at this time in my life, I was like, she knows I'm a woman, right? She goes, yeah, I definitely, she knows that you're a woman. I'm like, okay, well, so I say, hey, let me talk to her. So I ask her, I get on her level. Omari, you know that I'm a woman. Why would you want to call me daddy? She's like, it's not the fact that you're a woman. Just saying I have a mom and a dad mean I have two parents who love me. And I've been dad ever since. Because she made it very clear what she wanted, and I understood what she needed. So this is what I'm talking about. I know it might have looked and sound weird to a lot of people back then, because remember, I'm walking around with a 42, 46, double, triple D chest. And got this cute little kid calling me daddy. And this, I didn't have no, HRT then. And a little mustache now, I grew into my trans manness, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I've never felt more comfortable with giving. I feel like I can give as my 300% self. I'm not, oh, did I come across this way? No, this is me. This is who I am, and I think it's exactly for me. It's for my family, and I'm proud of that. So just know that, if you don't think you know anyone who's transgender, you know me. I'm openly sharing this story with you because the future is going to be different for all of us. But I'll be damned if you don't recognize me as a human being. My family might look different, but I still have a family, and it's to be respected, and it's to be loved and guided with light, with positive abundance. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Happy Sunday. Thank you for listening. Thank you for understanding that I'm here. I exist, and so do you. So go have the best day possible. Take care, loves.